So welcome back live at the Loft. Kelly Guest,
Terry Knight,
and Terri Taylor.
Yes, and I would like to ask you, here's a big question. Terry is my therapist, if you're just jumping in mid-show here. I asked you this once, and I was thrilled with the way you answered this question. And I'm sure you will not be able to duplicate your efforts here, but that's okay. I asked you once, what the difference between me telling you my stuff and telling my friends? Why go to therapy? Why not just call up and impose yourself on the people who are allegedly supposed to like you?
Well, your friends have a stake in the outcome. I don't. I mean, it's your problem. You're going to walk away with it regardless of what I have to say, but I'm objective. And I can help you become more aware of what's motivating your problems and how you're managing them and what you do emotionally with. I've seen big on that whole emotional piece. Not how do you feel, but how do you function emotionally? And friends aren't going to help tease that out with you because they're not thinking that way about it. I hope that was the same answer I gave you.
Yes, it was actually a little bit more detailed. You looked at me and deadpan. She goes, I have skills. And then after I lost it, laughing, you said, it was very much along the lines. It was very much along the lines of, yeah, your friends are going to listen, but like you said, there's a stake in the outcome. But the other thing is that they don't have the tools. Like when say I'm telling a story that's upsetting or about an experience or something, you have that way of redirecting and kind of making me see what's there so that not only can I learn from it, but maybe I can stop repeating an experience.
And reframing it in other ways that you may not have thought of. See, that's the other thing about any therapist or someone that's going to help you with stuff. They have a different worldview. And so finding people with dissimilar worldviews can be really beneficial. I mean, if we like each other too much, it's like, we're probably too alike. But we're still able to connect. You know, I think therapy is about energy and love. I mean, I sit there with anybody I'm talking to and it's compassion and this person's struggling with something and I have energy and I have training and life experience and all those things come into play.
On that note, talking about your compassion and how you want to help, how much of other people's stuff do you take onto yourself? How do you separate that?
I write notes. It's like, it's done, I'm going home now.
Really?
It's yours.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Right.
I'm not going to take that with me. That doesn't help me or you. That's not my job.
And that is a great question, and I'm really glad you asked it. And it reminds me of something you told me not too long ago. And by the way, I'm reading a terrific book that you suggested, and it's one of the more interesting. Well, the thing is I don't know if you noticed this, but we've certainly talked to other people. Like we interviewed renowned psychic Catherine Harwig, and she talked about being a barrage by other people's energy, and because she picks up everything. Well, I feel that way a lot too. Will you tell the little extra? I love it because I've done this and it's so cool. So when you're going into a situation where you don't want people's stuff coming at you.
You tell it, because I want to hear how you're doing it and what you're doing.
Okay. Well, the gist of it, and fill in the holes, okay? Because I don't want to tell people to be wrong and then they think their aura is protected and then they're not and it's my fault. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so
most people don't even know what an aura is, so I think you're good.
So you got me back?
I got you.
Okay. So, yeah, Terry told me going into whatever situation to, I don't remember if you had me stand up, but I did. And she had me feel the energy field around me and to really notice it and everything else. And it wasn't entirely all that different from something that I do in the morning anyway, and a stretching thing that I do. So I stood up and I'm doing my little thing. And so she had me picture what color I thought it was. And I think it wanted to be one color, but I switched it to my favorite color because I'm controlling that way, which is one of the things we're working on, but I digress. So I switched it to my favorite color. And then she said, all right, now really feel and become aware of your aura and that around you and make that sort of like your protective coating. But then she said, what's your favorite flower? And I opened my eyes and I'm like,
She's looking at me like I'm out of my mind.
hello? And she goes, just give me the dang flower. And so I told her. And then she said, all right, now put a vase full of those in front of you. And I'm like, do I have to walk around with this? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, how am I going to function with a freaking vase of peonies in front of me? Okay? That doesn't make sense. But the peonies, she said, now you have to explain this part because I don't know why it works, but it does. Will you take it from here?
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Okay.
The peonies welcome people, and they also protect you a bit. They're a barrier between your aura and other people. There's just something in between that shell of your energy and the world. But it's welcoming.
You know what that reminds me of is when you put a living fence, when you build a living fence,
Yes.
literally
Around your
between
house.
neighbors, yes. Because it's friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but it also says,
I mean, are we talking shrubbery
Boundaries.
here?
Yes.
Okay, shrubbery.
Yeah, I do shrubs in mine. I like lilac bushes.
yeah.
I got a big ass 6-foot fence, man. It's wood.
Stuff your ass.
Bye-bye. It's more about keeping stuff in
Then
than out. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. A living fence. That's so
that is nice.
delightful.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
It's really is.
because I'm so friendly.
Alright, that's enough. So everybody should be walking around with an imaginary vase of flowers, you know, in front of them. And I mean, seriously, think about, you know, the grumpy person. I mean, who's gonna be pissy to a peony? I mean,
You have a daisy.
yeah, really?
And my daisies are here to welcome you and set boundaries.
But it works.
They're really
do.
cool. I like that.
That's really cool. And it makes me think about every, the foyers of houses, most houses, particularly older houses. What's usually in there? A table with a vase.
Yes,
Okay, that's just weird.
It's great.
I
it
know.
is.
When we come back, I want to talk about boundaries.
Ooh.